Hi, it's TT here for My Sacred Blood. Welcome or welcome back to the only channel on YouTube that focuses exclusively on truly holistic menstrual care. If you are watching this from the website, do consider joining the mailing list by filling out the little form below, and do share this video with at least one person who you feel will also benefit from the content. Here at My Sacred Blood, it is officially Menstrual Hygiene Awareness Month. Since May 28th is Menstrual Hygiene Day, I figured why not start the conversation early or join in the conversation early and then keep it going for the rest of the month. I recently attended an online event that was hosted by Days for Girls Canada and Change the Flow, and they're starting a campaign. They have started a campaign called Menstruation. I love the name, so I'll be using it unofficially. And their campaign will also be running for the rest of the month. Before I share with you the details of what's going to be happening throughout all of Menstruation, or the unofficial Menstrual Hygiene Awareness Month, or Menstrual Hygiene Day, I'd first like to share this very quick public service announcement, or PSR. It's kind of like a public service announcement, but it's more of a rant. Hi, it's Tiki here for My Sacred Blood, coming through with this quick video that I'm posting just to address some of the concerns that some of the ladies might have about vaccines, COVID-19 vaccines, and menstruation, how it's affecting their menstruation. So what's the concern? The concern is that the COVID-19 vaccines has effects on menstruation. There are currently a few different studies, and I think they're doing even more studies on how the COVID-19 vaccines are affecting a woman's menstrual period. They're doing legitimate studies, different universities, or whatever you want to call legitimate. But there are also concerns being raised by people who have not had a vaccine, but they are concerned that they're having changes in their cycle. So what's the problem with that? First things first is, if you have any concerns related to the vaccines, you can go straight to the FDA website and they have a fact sheet there, and you can find information for recipients and for caregivers related to the vaccine. Anything you want to know, the ingredients, everything is on the website. All the facts are there. They tell you that, so don't limit your knowledge to just what you're hearing in either the mainstream or in alternative propaganda. Everything that you hear on the media, fine, you take it, but go straight to the source. So they have all the information that you need there if you need the facts, and they update regularly. Now, I was watching a news clip the other day, and what they were talking about was personal hygiene, something like personal hygiene affected by the lockdowns, or personal hygiene goes down during lockdown, so something to that degree. And what they were talking about was people don't groom themselves anymore, they don't take showers as often, like letting days go by without taking showers, not combing their hair, not doing their makeup and whatever. So what does that tell you? That tells you that nobody was really concerned about what they look like, smell like, taste like, or whatever before the lockdown. They were only doing it because they had to be around people, they had to be in work, and it was an obligation for them to wash their ass. And so that's the only reason why they were doing it in the first place. And now when they have the option not to do it, they don't do it. Why is that important? Because it tells you that nobody really cared about their personal hygiene. A lot of women don't track their periods. They don't know when their next period is going to come. Their periods do surprise them. And so now, because of all the fear and all the uncertainty and everything surrounding the whole pandemic and the corona and the vaccine and everything, hang on, let that go by, right? So now they are worried, and now they're going to notice every little thing about their health. People before didn't care what they put into their bodies. Their main concern was having good hair, good nails, nice makeup, Instagram makeup, and all that, and that was their concern. But now, because of all the fears and all the propaganda, now they're paying attention to their health and to their body. Okay, so hang on. All right, so sorry, I wanted to find that. That's what I wanted to find. Okay, and that's the FDA website. And what does it say? It tells you, what if I decide not to get the vaccine? And it tells you straight on the website, on that fact sheet, it says it is your choice to receive or not to receive this vaccine. Should you decide not to receive it, it will not change your standard medical care. Here, you can take that. Okay? So why do I read that section of the fact sheet? Because when you decide, I do not want a vaccine, be confident and sure of that no. Make it a hard no. I do not want it. I will not take it. And they tell you that it will not affect your health care. If you decide, yes, I will take it, make that a confident yes. Yes, you do want it. You're sure, you believe in it. You believe in its efficacy and in its safety, and you take it, and be satisfied with your decision, with your choice. If you make a choice that you don't want to make, and now you start stressing out about that choice, or you start thinking, you know, they're going to force me to take it and I'm all stressed out, or I took it and now I'm stressed out. Now that stress is going to cause a chain reaction that's going to release adrenalines through your bloodstream, which is going to increase corticosteroids or cortisol, which is going to increase blood glucose, which is going to further increase your stress and your period problems. So now you're setting off an entire chain reaction just by stressing out over something that you never needed to stress about in the first place. So mostly, if you are concerned, and the only legitimate concern I would think for anyone who has not been vaccinated but seems to be having adverse effects, then you'll want to be proactive and active in your own community. Write to your representative to find out whether or not the water filtration system is filtering out some of the pharmaceuticals. We know that sometimes pharmaceuticals and herbicides, pesticides, and things like that get leached into the soil and into the water filtration system and doesn't get properly filtered. So you might want to write to one of your representatives, to your governments, to your leaders, and ask them whether or not there's a risk there. That's the only possible risk. But to be spreading these rumors that somehow you're going to get the disease or whatever from somebody else's vaccination, or that it's going to affect your period, that this is just absurd. It makes no logical sense. Otherwise, I would be getting anything that anyone else has. You know, I can get somebody else's herpes just by being next to them. Like, is that logical? It's not logical. Anyway, I don't normally do this. I'm just doing this one time. Maybe, you know, I'll come through here, you know, every once in a while. Until then, though, please do take care of yourself. Here at My Sacred Blood, I offer the tips, tools, techniques, and support that you need to be able to master your menses. And you will never be able to master your menses or to master yourself if you have a victim mentality and refuse to take responsibility for what's happening with you and your body. Now, I'm glad actually that more women are waking up to the fact that their menstrual cycle is an indication of what's happening in their bodies. We used to separate it and only pay attention to our menstruation at that time of the month. But now, this situation has forced more women to start paying attention to their menstrual cycle, because they know now that what's happening inside your body is going to eventually show up on the outside. So I'm glad that we're seeing that connection. If there's any reason for why you feel like there's something going wrong, the next question to ask is, what are you doing about it? How are you taking responsibility for that? I've said it many times before on this channel, and I'll remind you again that your cells will always react to their environment. So when we see that there's something changing within us, whether it's a mental change or a physical change, the first response to that should be to take a holistic look at the whole of your environment to figure out what is it in the environment that is causing these changes within me. And then the next logical step would of course be to ask yourself, what do I plan to do about it? So starting this month, what I would like you to do is, if you haven't already, to start paying close attention to your menstrual health and hygiene. And the first thing to do with that is to track your period if you haven't already done it. If you were tracking your period and now you've lost track, or your period has become irregular, then start all over and start to track it again. If you are on birth control, whether hormonal or not, or if you use any type of drug, whether it's illegal or pharmaceutical, whether you use alcohol or fast food or anything else that might interfere with your period, consider how it might be affecting your period and pay attention to that. Are there changes that could possibly be related to that? If you are on any birth control, or if you've taken any of these substances that I've mentioned, maybe talk to your doctor about possible interactions that these drugs might have with each other and with the new vaccines. This is something that scientists and medical professionals should be taking seriously. We should be looking at the connection and how these drugs interact. It's very important, but it's our job as women to ask these questions and to bring awareness to these problems or issues. Take an interest and read more about the water system in your area. We feel like menstrual hygiene and access to clean water and sanitation is something that's like a third world problem. But water, clean water, affordable access to clean water is a problem, a global problem that we all need to consider and think about. It's something that we take for granted here in the West, but it is something that even here in Canada, there are many communities who do not have access still to clean water. So pay attention to what's happening with the water system in your area. This information should be public, and if it's not, you can file a Freedom of Information request. The point is to take action. If you feel that there is a problem, then the question should always come back to, what do you plan to do about it? And finally, make May all about menstrual hygiene. If you haven't done it before, if menstruation is not something that you're usually preoccupied with, just do it for this 1 month. Pay attention to your period, pay attention to your body, to your hormones, to your moods, to your mindset, to your environment, and take actions that you feel will benefit you. All right, so as I mentioned before, I attended an online event this past Tuesday, or last Tuesday, and it was a movie night that was hosted by 2 different organizations that are working towards bringing awareness to menstrual health and hygiene. And one of the ladies mentioned that Menstrual Hygiene Day was chosen the 28th of May for the 28-day menstrual cycle, as well as the average 5 days of bleeding. I'm not so sure, I wasn't able to check up on that. I love the sound of it though. But from what I have read, Menstrual Hygiene Day was created, or I guess introduced by an organization called WASH, W-A-S-H, and I believe that's Water, Sanitation, and Hygiene. Now, if you are interested to learn more about any of these organizations, you can check out the blog post at mysacredblood.com/journal, or you can check the links in the description here. And finally, if you're interested in participating online with some of the digital awareness campaigns, then you can get involved in that by using the hashtags Menstrual Hygiene Day, Menstrual Hygiene, Menstruation, My Cycle symbol, hashtag, use all the hashtags, and post the My Cycle symbol on your social media using any one of those hashtags. And to do the My Cycle symbol, you should have your nails painted red. I haven't done that. I won't be changing these nails again until they fall off. But you use the My Cycle symbol, create 2 round ovaries, enclose it into your womb, and then flip it upside. Oh, you can't, okay, you can't see it here. Hang on. All right, and that is it for this one. Remember, I'm here every moon day at noon, and that is Eastern time. Until the next one, take care of yourself.